Thank you, Spider-Man.
Thank you, Spider-Man.
It's like, what the fuck are you looking at me for? I was like looking at my laptop.
Hey,
Do a
Spider-Man.
flip.
Do a flip. Crawl across the ceiling. You're deeply mistrusting. And I respect that.
Alrighty. Are you boys ready to get into it?
Oh yeah,
Alrighty, let's do this.
let's do this.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Tardy to the Party, where three nerds gather around and talk about the holy trinity of pop culture, DC, Marvel, and Star Wars. I'm your boy, J Sib, and to my left, as always.
A little early. It's KP here.
To my right, as always.
Bill.
Oh, God, I'm under attack.
All right, I fucked up. My bad, guys.
He's just excited, everybody. He's got a big trailer to talk about here in a bit.
Just like when I was an adolescent boy. Came on a little too early.
You know. I don't know how I want to take that, but yeah, here we are.
Well, I wasn't really sure where we crossed the line with dick and sex jokes, so whatever.
I have no boundaries, so it's
yeah, I
it's
mean,
pretty clear,
yeah.
pretty evident. I don't know.
Yeah.
Somebody else that doesn't have boundaries, Ezra Miller enters.
Yes.
Yes.
Well done.
Ezra Miller enters a guilty plea deal for
that.
his breaking and entering and robbery when he decided he needed some bottles of liquor.
How you
So
gonna be the
he,
Flash and stealing liquor, man. Like, how you gonna be the Flash?
I think he
have all that
forgot
money?
that he wasn't the Flash, so he tried to zoom in. I think.
You think that's a real thing? You think that that's a real thing? Honestly,
I don't know.
I mean, if
Do you
they're
think it's a real
if
thing?
they're method acting for the role, I could see it. Like I could see.
I mean,
I could see like Jim Carrey or
I swear.
what's his name? It's escaping me.
Daniel Day-Lewis, man.
Not Daniel. Well, him too. Jared Leto. I could see
Oh,
like
yeah.
Oh,
if you cast Jared Leto as the Flash, he probably thought like, yeah, I'm fast as fuck. I'm fast as fuck, boy. And he'd try to. He probably would try to.
I mean,
I don't know if he'd try to rob them.
But you got to think about it as well. There's two versions of him, so it could one of them could be Eobard Thawne. So he could think he is evil Flash.
Well, I mean, let's be real
Oh,
here.
shit.
Let's be
He coulda
real.
got way into.
Point. That's a good point.
Let's be real. The reality of all this situation is hey, Heath. I mean, these people live and they play in the roles that they are.
Oh.
You know?
Yeah.
They became
You just made me
Reverse Flash.
sad.
I know. I didn't like it, but it had to be said.
True.
But yeah, basically he now no longer has to serve. I think it was like 3 months of jail time. He now has like a year of probation, and I think it was like a $500 fine.
No,
Yeah.
it was a couple thousand, but like to the money he has, I'm sure. Yeah, it
Like-
probably felt like $100.
Basically, any of us normies would have like
What is this?
jail time for
Yeah.
however long. But
Like, well, I
you know,
can't pay this, so I got to take a loan out. Like,
That's
yeah.
what I'm saying.
Fuck.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know?
no, well, at least according to CNN, they avoided 3 months in jail and will now
Yes.
need to pay a $500 fine.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
plus a court fee. Okay, there we go.
I swear.
And we
I
also
said, like-
put
Oh,
on a
does he
year
have
of
to go to jail?
probation. So yeah.
Was he trying to steal from someone he knows, and that's probably why he got
That-
away with the plea deal?
That was something else too. Apparently, that house was like, somebody he knew was like a friend or something like that.
Yeah.
Apparently.
So-
Or
so-
sorry, it was
so
a friend
even
of
worse.
theirs.
This dude, yeah, this.
Sorry,
well,
terrible.
I mean, this dude's obviously going through something, so hope you can get the help that you need. I don't know.
Which they've stayed out of trouble lately, so hopefully it
Yeah,
stays that
true.
way. At least hopefully until the movie comes out, or at least until the trailer drops, the Super Bowl here shortly. So that's something to finally look forward to. We finally, after what, I think it's like 2 years since I had that teaser at DC Fandom or something like that, we finally get some more footage. Can't wait. Apparently, despite all of this drama, apparently this movie is awesome. Like, and it apparently has to be with, I mean, like with all this crap, and they canceled Batgirl, which granted apparently that's just because that movie was garbage. But
Shocker.
they kept going back, and so apparently there is something really there that they really like, despite all of this baggage that's on it. So apparently they really believe in it. Otherwise, I feel like it would have gotten canceled along with it. So
I'm pretty excited for the version of Supergirl that they're doing in this movie, so that's good to hear that it is awesome.
yeah, I'm excited.
Probably nostalgia too with Keaton as Batman, because that's like the Gen Xers. That's their Batman, and they're probably
What's-
the top brass. That's the generation that's probably the top brass there right now.
What's the
so.
scoop on this version of Supergirl? What is this?
So it's the Supergirl that's actually a daughter of Clark and Lois. It's
Okay.
not Kara. It's a different Supergirl.
I like that.
Yeah,
I do like that.
I believe. Like I'm positive that's what it is. I mean, our DC guy that's way more invested can confirm.
It's not Kara. I think it's supposed to be like it's like an alternate Earth version.
Hey,
Yeah.
I like that.
Because I think she's the version that's technically supposed to be Power Girl.
Oh,
I think.
I thought that's a
Maybe not.
But that's still. I thought Power Girl's just an alternate Kara.
Maybe. I don't know. I can't remember anymore, man. It's been a while since I've read the Earth 2 comics. I'll say honestly, I haven't really looked too much into the Supergirl of this movie. Because there's really hasn't been much that's fucking come out about this movie. So that's why it's finally great we get a fucking trailer at Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Because the teaser wasn't nothing. It basically just teased that Keaton was going to be in it.
So I guess it's theorized that she's Laura Lane Kent, Supergirl, because the guy who created that version, he put and ... Well, Sasha Cal's Supergirl is uncanny, so that's okay. That's where that's coming from. So she might actually be a Kara, but it's just a different suit. But I don't know.
I'll say because that's the thing that's weird is she has like the Man of Steel suit, almost.
Right. And I think that's why people were like, "Oh, she's probably Laura Lane Kent because she's got the fucking like the it's a suit. It's not the skirt, which is what which is what Kara usually has as the skirt. She's got a full-on like suit that looks just like Superman's. Ish. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and then moving on as far as DC goes, see, we got some James Gunn news. He basically kind of buried down and conferred a January announcement. Somebody tweeted out, "Please, James Gunn, my birthday is like January 14th. Please, can you announce this slate on my birthday?" And his reply to that was basically, "It'll be a little late birthday gift." So,
well, what a nice guy.
Yeah,
so
what a god he is.
so
I live for this. Please tweet out that you have news and please share the news.
we just want some good news.
Here's news.
This guy's asking for a birthday gift.
We're tired of hearing cancellations. Please,
I know.
Give me something, please.
Please, we're starving over here.
Yeah.
And then other than that, James Gunn. Let's see. Oh yeah, somebody tweeted out basically a rumor of Jacoby
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
Elordi being rumored to be Superman, and somebody tweeted out to James Gunn. Jacob Elordi is rumored to be Superman for the DCU. Thoughts?
Yeah, I saw
James Gunn's reply: "My thoughts are no one has been cast as Superman yet. Casting is, as is almost always the case with me, will happen after the script is finished or close to finish, and it isn't. We'll announce a few things in not too long, but the casting of Superman won't be one of them." Mermaid Man emoji.
Yeah, which I thought was weird. I saw the Mermaid Man emoji. And
I feel like I'm missing something
I'm
with
like,
that.
why
That has to be
is
like
that?
a reference
It's gotta-
to something.
I was
that
like,
I'm
He
why
missing.
is
he doesn't
that
do anything without a purpose.
ripped?
like
like,
some sort of
that
hidden
has to be there
purpose.
for something.
Or just to make us
Right.
have this conversation. That could be that too.
Maybe that actor is actually being cast as Aquaman. I don't know. Because they're moving Momoa over to Lobo, so
Allegedly. I hope they
yeah,
do.
sorry.
I hope they do.
Allegedly. I would have.
I know.
Just from all the shit from what Momoa was so he's like jacked about, it's gotta be coming. They just haven't announced it. But that is what we do. We theorize.
And then the last bit of DC news. Boys,
Oh shit.
there's a new movement that's been going around town.
DC
I've
and
seen
their
it.
movements.
Hashtag sell the Snyderverse to Netflix.
And we went from restore to sell it. Hot.
I rolled my eyes. I rolled my eyes at this.
Good lord.
While it would be awesome, it just Do you guys know how hard that would be to fucking license that out? Like,
Oh, dude, that's
it's a nightmare.
the tape. I mean, just
It's
like
a
that.
nightmare.
No
It's
way.
that-
There's no way it could fucking work.
It also can't work because, like I said, I mean, you look at all the shit that Netflix keeps canceling, and presumably that's because, like, they're losing money because of the way they changed their subscription platform with the whole account sharing bullshit, and they want to crack down on people trying to have one account for 10 households. Which, yes, that's most likely an exaggeration on my end. I don't really do this with people like others do, so I don't know. Long story short, trying to get to my point that Netflix probably doesn't have the money to license that. And
I don't think
say
so
they
as
do?
well.
say they do, cool. Now, do you have all the money for the visual effects so it doesn't look like shit?
No.
No.
Well, his effects company, Stone Quarry, actually has a deal with Netflix now. So,
Well,
here's the thing.
Okay, but
The thing is, the last thing that Warner Brothers and DC want to happen is for another version of the unification of that universe that they're trying to do, to have another outlier. I mean,
well, right. You're
Yeah,
right.
that'd be
You're
the-
actually exactly correct. The whole thing is they came out and they were like, yeah, we're gonna have a DCU and everything we put from here on out is gonna be connected.
Yeah.
So their previous model was like the CW was a different universe. Titans was a different universe. Titans and Doom Patrol were a different universe, and then the movies were all a different universe. So if you came out and said, "Yeah, we want to streamline this, make it all connected, just like Marvel's doing," why would you, as a company, be like, "Yeah, we're cool. We'll license out this other universe that we want to erase, but yeah, we'll just license this out to Netflix."
Right.
I don't see him doing it.
because you also send with it that whole fandom. I mean,
True. Yeah.
It-
To play
Especially
devil's
this
advocate.
fandom, yes.
Yeah,
To
I
play
mean-
devil's advocate, though,
yes.
you license it
do
out to
that.
Netflix. You get to make money as WB because you're getting money to license it to them.
Which apparently they need.
You are then potentially restoring a bunch of your fan base that feels burned and hurt right now because you're finishing their universe, and then that will make them more open to going to the new DCU because you have followed through with that.
Yeah.
Still, it's going to be a licensing nightmare. I don't think it could happen.
Yeah.
But here's a little caveat on top of everything. You guys know who Zack Snyder is, right? You know him, right? He doesn't use the Twitter very much, but
I've
he
heard of
likes
him.
to use Vero, right?
Okay.
So there's this guy named Jacob Torres on Vero, right? He's had 2 posts referring to selling the Snyderverse to Netflix. Zack Snyder has liked both of those posts.
Well, he wants
I'm
to see
sure
it.
he would.
I'm sure he would. 'Cause
Oh, I
he
know.
He wants to see his vision.
But I'm almost
Yeah.
getting mad at him at this point because I feel like it's either one of two things. He either thinks it's actually possible somehow, some way, or he knows it's not possible. But why is he teasing the fan base like that?
Well, I mean,
Because he's just like still angry at WB. No, actually, fuck
Probably.
you. You like it.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's probably what it is.
Yeah,
It's-
because basically for him, this is like an affirmation of the fans' feelings about him and his universe.
Right.
It's like, if people are calling for you, like, okay, well, you're not going to give us what we really want as a unified universe under the Snyderverse. Well, Netflix might, and that's why, to the devil's advocate point, that would be muddy waters, man. Because you could reinvigorate him, it could, and it could bring back a few, but most of those fans, and people, especially internet people, they are going to eviscerate Warner Brothers for it took Netflix to come in and save your most successful projects. I mean, that's what I would anticipate they would get from most of the fans that was making the decision to either, this is going to bring me back, or fuck you, DC.
Yeah.
This is what you get for pushing them away.
I mean, there are people. I've seen plenty of people post just like, yeah, if you just do this to Netflix, I'd totally be on board for the new DCU and go see the movies and stuff. It's like, yeah, it's like, but how many of you actually are there that are like that? And how many of you are going to change on a dime when that
Right.
first trailer drops and you're just
Bingo.
like, holy fuck, that
Bingo,
looks good.
bingo. And there's that, and it's just the attention, and it may screw up what they're trying to do. Like they said, all the timelines are going to be wrapped into the one. That may screw with the ability to appreciate the new movies or the new projects for what they are. I mean, maybe I don't know.
And here's the other thing, like, if there was future movies down the timeline where these guys were coming back, it would also kind of make sense for them to exist on a Netflix.
Yeah.
Here's two things. One, Netflix, what do they care about? Getting new subscribers.
I was going to say money.
That's all they care about, is specifically mainly new subscribers. That's all they care about. That's why you even like successful shows that are popular get canceled after a season or two, because they're not actually gaining new subs from it. Like they're retaining their current subs, but they're like, you guys are staying.
Yeah, there's no benefit in me keeping you here. Yeah.
So for that, I don't think it would happen anyway, because I feel like most people that are fans of like comic book stuff are going to already have Netflix anyway for whatever reason. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. The only way I think it could happen is if it was animated. If they license it out to be like an animated movie.
That would take care of much of the bureaucracy there.
I mean, you could always bring the actors back to voice still, or you could just recast the voices, I guess. I feel like that would not. I feel like that wouldn't go over as well. But I mean, Zack Snyder's done an animated movie. It's actually kind of dope. The Owl movie. It's like the Guardians of the Owls, Gahul or something like that. It's pretty sick. Shit. It's pretty epic.
I'm about to check that shit out.
So I mean, if he's, as long as he's like directing or whatever, I'd be down to see an animated version. Like,
Well, yeah.
I just want to see the story, like whether it's live action or not. Like,
well, and the amount of talented voice actors we have in this world is ridiculous, and it's like,
that's
a
fact.
I mean, and I'm sure they could find somebody that. I'm 100% certain they could find somebody that it reiterates and replicates all those voices, so not the average ear wouldn't be able to tell the damn difference.
So very, very unlikely, but gotta give the Snyder fan base props. They will not die.
Oh, they're never gonna go away.
They're still twitching, man. They every once in a while they drag themselves a few more inches forward and then keep twitching.
Oh man.
I'll just say this to the Snyderverse fans: we already won, technically.
I mean, yeah,
we got this bad boy. We already won.
That's true.
Just take the W. If it happens, if this somehow miraculously happens, it's probably not. I'm sorry. It's way too much bullshit they would have to do. It would be way too complicated. Just, we won. Let's move on to Marvel.
Yeah.
Well, Marvel, instead of dealing with that kind of bullshit problems, not much news going around, but I think we talked last week that they're still struggling to cast Fantastic Four, and really the big rumor going around now is that apparently Adam Driver's the front runner to play Reed Richards. So,
interesting.
That is interesting,
guys. How do we kind of feel about that? Because I'll tell you guys, outside of Star Wars, I've never watched Adam Driver in anything else. Oh. One whole other movie.
There was the zombie one.
Not the zombie one. The one with the one where he's in it with Matt Damon. And Jodie Comer. What is that movie? It's the fucking. I hate this. Probably should have got this together before.
Dude, Adam Driver. I just don't understand his role. Like
the Last Duel. That's what I'm thinking of.
The
Last Duel.
Oh, yeah.
So that's the only other role I've ever seen Adam Driver in. Apparently, though, fans are saying instead of him being Reed Richards, he should play Doctor Doom.
I feel the same.
Which that I can agree with, and I tried while you guys were talking. I was trying just now to Google, what's been his, has he been interviewed on this rumor yet this week? And what's his response to this? I can't seem to find anything.
Yeah, I don't think he said anything about it.
So he didn't say anything about it, which maybe that means that he has talked to he's got the Star Wars connection already, so
it'd be an
walk
easy
across the street,
easy in,
and they already use this. I mean, Disney pretty much already in-house kind of keeps the same actors and actresses. The girl that's in Willow was the chick in Solo.
Yeah.
Can't remember that character's name.
I can't remember the name either,
but that's just one small example.
Nope.
I think he'd be better as Doctor Doom. I
was worried the camera was gonna...
I was going to say, we're all kind of paused right now because a door might open that might wreck
crashing down.
Send my very expensive
I know.
camera that's recording us crashing down,
I
and I
know.
will cry.
We'll have to lock that door from now on.
Okay. Oh man, that'll give me a heart attack just
Me,
because I've already this week dropped my over-the-ear
I took off
Beats.
running. I was like, okay. I was like,
I already dropped my over-the-ear Beats headphones, and it
Mm.
did crack them open. Now
Oh,
I was
shit.
luckily able to snack them back in together, but they're pretty loose to where it's like, probably gonna need to replace these pretty quick. So that's not fun. All right.
I'm not gonna lie. I pictured that thing falling down. It's just fucking.
But moving on.
You start sweating.
Really the big Marvel news this week. I don't know if you guys caught it. Monday night there was like a high school football game going on. Some like perennial powerhouse was shit kicking some trash squad out of Texas. I think the point difference was like 50. It was just a shit show of a game. But during that game,
What?
well, there's a trailer.
Man?
There's a hot trailer for Ant-Man.
There's a hot
Which I
trailer for
didn't-
Ant-Man?
Yeah, there's a hot trailer for Ant-Man during this game. Something actually entertaining than what you were actually watching. So, I mean, I guess depends on who you pull for.
him,
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Dude, I was. I mean, I just think I was talking more shit than anybody else in that entire. I was at a bar watching it. Had reserved a table, front and center.
Oh, I wish I was there then.
And it was
Shit.
Georgia fans. All the high tops around me were Georgia fans, and we are in Central Illinois, mind you.
Oh, when Illinois sucks every year.
Well, right, I mean,
And some transplants, whatever.
typically they go to Bama, but
True.
But no, I was
So shout at
standing
me. I'll take that shot
I was
at me.
barking at children. I was doing all the things that Georgia fans should do, and I mean, every time we'd score, I'd say,
Once you start, you can never go back.
Dude, as soon as we'd score, I'd stand up, I'd throw up the horned frog, and I'd say, underdog these nuts, bitch. Dude, shock the world, my ass, I was talking all that shit until like halfway through the second quarter, and I was just like, yeah, well, okay.
I don't need to beat this.
This
dead
game's
frog.
already over now. This is kind of fun.
Me and my boys are eting chicken wings on the sidelines now.
I think that
They know it's over.
I think in the fourth quarter, I was like standing up on my chair and just waving around the room because a lot of people were cheering for TCU as the underdog, So like half the bar when they scored that touchdown,
Dude,
they
now
fucking
you
lost
know.
their minds. I'm like, yeah, you get one.
Dude, now you know what it. Now you know what it is.
I know,
You're now the empire that everyone fucking hates.
and it's actually glorious.
Well, yeah, because you're winning championships.
I know, man.
Anyways, all right.
But
Enough with your Mickey Mouse champion.
oh,
No.
really?
I'm kidding.
Oh, really?
Oh no,
God.
this is copyrighted.
I don't know, but we're gonna find out.
I'll say this about it real quick.
I guess I could always.
Like
leave it
I
that way.
said, I mean, even though, yes, we're a pop culture podcast, but we do enjoy our sports too, so we'll just real quick talk about it just because, we don't really have a lot of pop culture content this week anyway.
Not really.
In my opinion.
That's true.
In my opinion. Like I said to you, I didn't mean it as a dig because I meant it like, congratulations back to back. That's fucking cool. I mean, obviously, last team to do it was the one I root for fucking 10 years ago. So
When our head coach was your DC.
Yes. That's fucking crazy, actually.
It is, isn't it?
And and then that was the last time you had repeat champions, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Didn't even think of that until you just said that,
Mhm.
but like I said, the fact that it was a blowout of 50 fucking points, you're talking like this was a regular season game, basically.
58.
Yeah. Like, God, 58.
That was a record, wasn't it?
It was the biggest win
It's the
in
biggest-
bowl history.
yeah.
Any bowl.
Yeah, any bowl. Like I said to you, this is a clear indication of, yes, why they needed to finally expand it to 12 teams.
Yeah.
Because I will be the fan and say, you should have been playing either Michigan or Ohio State or Alabama in that game.
Yeah.
Would you still win? Probably. But not by 58 fucking points to where I'm turning the game off midway through the second quarter.
Yeah, I'm
because
just
they
going to
can't
chime in
stop
as the Ohio State fan here. Say it officially.
The championship was played last.
Yeah. Exactly.
It
That
made,
was the
watching
real
it. Well, I didn't watch the
championship.
game, but I paid attention to the game, and I was like, "Yikes! I feel so much better. We at least gave them a run for their money."
Well, dude, I mean, half of the team afterwards is like, how'd we win that game? I mean, how? I mean, obviously the Ruggles struggle, but it's
Part of me just sat there watching the championship game, and I'm like, I think this really just goes to show that did TCU really beat Michigan, or did Harbaugh just did he just make stupid coaching decisions to where they just ended up losing because of it?
Running the Philly special on the 1-yard line when you have quote unquote the best offensive line in the nation.
And a very good running back.
Both your running backs. You didn't have quorum. Oh, your first play from scrimmage was a 51-yard rush on a counter, and then you run the Philly special and fumble the damn ball. I am putting the ball in the hands of my big, gigantic, strong, fast running back behind a giant, strong, athletic line, and if they can't get me a yard, so be it. But I'm not running the fucking Philly special on the 1-yard line.
Yeah.
Come on, dude. Like you really think that you needed to do that to beat TCU? They run a 3-3-5, and you have one of the best rushing offenses in the country. You should feast on them. I mean, come on, dude. I mean, there's no reason they should have lost to them. Obviously, I mean, McCarthy decided to throw more touchdowns to the other team than his own, but it is what it is.
I'm not gonna lie. The rumors about the Carolina Panthers reaching out to Harbaugh, I was like, oh no.
Yeah, I say the same thing with the Vikings last year.
I wouldn't. If I was an NFL team, I don't understand what the attraction would be to have him as a coach.
I mean, he does have his record is he's still
on
green.
paper his resume is good.
And he lost to his brother in an incredible Baltimore team.
I was going to say, and in the NFL, he at least took a team to the Super Bowl. So
it
could have won it too if them damn lights didn't go out.
Those damn lights. You remember that?
Could have.
You remember that?
I'm sorry, and I'm biased because I fucking hate that team, but no. Not could have won it if the lights didn't go out. No. The lights went out to give them a chance to win it because they were getting shit wrecked so bad by the Ravens. That game was about to be a blowout, and Mr. Goodell was like, well, cause something to happen because I don't want our ratings to plummet. Sorry, I believe in that conspiracy theory all day. I'll die on that hill.
For some reason, I thought it was the other way around.
The lights were literally... lights... I believe I remember it perfectly. The lights went out when it was like 3rd and 15. They had just sacked Kaepernick, and they were getting ready to send 8 again to light him up again. And because I remember them announcers saying, like, oh, they're just going to send him again. Like, this is about to be real, real bad.
Pin your ears back and let's go.
Yeah, pin your ears back, let's go. And, yeah, that... Whatever. Sorry, I just...
Yeah, I mean, this year, obviously, we got, like you said, it gave us everything we wanted for, enforcing how much we need the 12-team playoff. The semifinals, that's the best semifinals we've ever had. I mean, between the two
Like
games.
I said, I mean, I just think that... I just remember sitting there and I'm like, Georgia could have played literally any fucking school out of the SEC and it'd be a closer game than this.
Yeah, I think. And unfortunately for TCU, they played they weren't prepared. You could see that was very clear.
Yeah.
From the first snap, they were not prepared. And the only points they got in that entire game was from a blown coverage because of an outside kind of switching combo zone man coverage that they passed each other. You had an in, you had an out, and they picked the wrong ones. That's why they got their fucking points. That's the only positive they have from that game.
Right.
That's it. I mean, they weren't prepared. Ohio State, they were. and unfortunately for TCU, I don't think
Ohio State
anybody was going to beat
to
Georgia
prove,
in that game. I don't think there was a team in the country that would have went into that national championship and had a chance to beat Georgia the way they played on Monday.
Like I said, I think that regardless who you played, you would have won, but I just think it would have been a better game if you played other teams.
The way TCU played, East Peoria High School could have played as just as good a game against Georgia.
That's why I jokingly said it was a high school game.
I know.
All right, let's get back to Ant-Man. Let's break down this trailer. This is hot.
So hot.
It starts with Scott. Well, aren't they really...
Thank you, Spider-Man.
Yeah, thank you, Spider-Man, you're an Avenger. And he's like, oh, he's living the life, blah, blah, blah. But he's lost time because of the blip snap, and then you're playing the trailer in the background, and then right there. So we see his daughter walking out of a jail cell. So that makes me believe the plot's probably like, okay, I was gone for 5 years. My daughter grew up without me as a dad, and then she went down the same shitty. She's going down the same shitty path that I am going down, where maybe she's becoming a thief because
See, I
Wants to be
actually,
closer to her
I
dad.
think actually, if you look at it, I think she's actually wearing. I think she gets arrested for like an activist, like a planet act, like she's wearing like a Save the Planet shirt or something like that, and she's like dressed in blue and green.
So we got
it's further
we got
down.
so we got a protest
I mean,
arrest.
maybe.
Yeah, so I think like yeah, it is like she got arrested like he did, but like it's like a Planet shirt.
Okay.
I don't. I'm thinking she got like arrested at like a rally or something
Oh,
like
okay.
that. But yeah, it'll probably but it'll
regardless,
like trigger that.
That's the trigger.
for Scott though.
And then it shows them they activate some device that she was working on, maybe with.
That's what they kind of made it sound like.
Yeah,
that she
because
made
I
it.
mean they keep wanting to harness the power of the quantum realm, and they're just trying to still discover it. But this device obviously pulls her and Scott down into the quantum realm where they discover Kang and his big, huge army. And basically, we kind of actually get to the plot of this movie where Kang wants to strike a deal with Scott and say, like, I can give you your time back for your daughter if you help me. So, kind of to segue into my other note here that I got where I say Feige LOL because Kevin Feige decided to become that which he doesn't like. I
became.
I was just gonna say, I already quoted it before we even filmed. I didn't want to quote it again.
I know. I was waiting for it.
You have become the very thing you swore to destroy.
I was just waiting for it. I was sitting here staring at him.
So he was in an interview with. What the hell? I don't see it here. But his quote is Kang's a very powerful person, but when we meet him, he's in a position where he needs to get his power back. He has a ship and a device, which they already leaked the image of. We're going to have the Kang time chair of how he can go anywhere and anywhen where he wants. So there's the more plot spoiler of this is why Kang needs to strike this deal with Ant-Man because he needs to basically get his chair to work again. Like, that explains the plot hole of, like, okay, if this dude has existed in this quantum realm and he can shatter timelines, which is what Janet Van Dyne says in the trailer, like, this guy has the ability to shatter timelines and erase realities. Well, Feige basically just spoiled it of, like, well, this is why he hasn't done it yet to our main timeline MCU. So he's been just chilling out in the quantum realm. I'm guessing he can't get out, and he's just like, I need this specific thing and you to go steal it so I can do what I want and I'll
Do you
make
think
you
it's the Forever Crystal?
Huh?
Do you think it's the Forever Crystal that he's sending Ant-Man to go after? Is that thing that he's like
Probably.
looking up at where he's like later in the trailer where they like build a tower of Ant-Man and he looks like he's like about to shoot something. I think he's shooting it at it to shrink it. That's what I think.
Well, they've got to have
Because he's
their-
got
The
those
Forever
things-
Crystal?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
like the big glowing thing. I think he's actually shooting something up there to try to shrink it down.
Talking about Ant-Man?
Yeah.
He's probably those
So,
discs from this
so
movie.
I think he's shooting one of those up there to
shrink it down so
that
then he can take it
back.
back. That
Well,
would make sense.
Well, dude, it would work with the platform that they usually go with.
Yeah.
I mean, the similarities of the
Yeah.
the Infinity Stones and everything like that. That would fit
so,
with the platform.
Yeah.
And that would make sense that he
And-
would need like something like the Forever Crystal at least to charge his ship and power it.
Yeah.
Plus, I think
That would make sense.
Yeah.
I'm just excited about
His technology, though. So, I said that there's tie-ins from it that are in this trailer from other MCU stuff. So, when you kind of look at the trailer and it's like all this Kang technology and there's a lot of this floating shit, there's rings and they've got rune writing on them just like the Shang-Chi rings. And
Yep.
the extra credit scene from that movie was like, oh, the rings are signaling out to something. That somewhere, they said, very far away.
Yeah.
They didn't really allude to where far away, but they just said it's very far away. But the rings literally look similar, so that's a cool connection that these rings are maybe technology from Kang, which in the comics, Kang travels all throughout time, and like he does go way, way back in time, like to the age of the Egyptians, and there's probably what the MCU is going to do is make it to where like he traveled back in time at some point with these rings, and then that's how the Mandarin got them, is my assumption, because they say in Shang-Chi, they're like, well, we don't know how he got him. We just know he's thousands of years old because of them.
You also got the Miss Marvel wristbands too.
The Miss Marvel
Yeah.
wristbands, they said, are like tied into it as well, which would make sense because watching that show, it is like she goes back in time ish with it, and it like seems to allude to that. Oh, and then there's the whole different dimension of the people, of like what they are. I'd have to go back and watch the show because I can't remember the names. So that connection's really cool. And then, like you said, there's the armies of Ant-Man. So they show it where he splits himself, and then they just kind of look at each other. So Ant-Man's going to figure out like how in the quantum realm to make millions of copies of himself, is what I assume that is. Or like,
and I wonder if he's close to the Forever Crystal when he can do that, or if it is just an
Maybe.
ability he figures out. Because that would also make
Yeah.
sense why Kang wouldn't be able to go near it, because Kang wouldn't want
more
versions of himself.
Yes.
That's cool.
That's
cool-
the whole
a cool
point.
point. Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole point of
Yeah.
like the ending of Loki, where he who remains,
Right. Yep.
Immortus, fucking change his name. It's Immortus. Just have the name. Anyways, he says to them, he's like, all the different variants of myself just wound up using their universes to kill each other. He's like, I was the one that won in the end and wiped out timeline strings to eliminate all my variants from existence. Well, then they kill him, and then boom, all the multiverse explodes.
Do you think?
So that would make sense that if that is the power of the Forever Crystal, yeah, he wouldn't want to get near it because it's just going to make more copies of himself that are all just going to want to kill each other. Because he's egotistical. He just wants to control and dominate all space and time in the multiverse.
I am a conqueror.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think He Who Remains, since they've kind of established that time works in a loop,
Yes.
and even right when he like dies, he
'Cause
he says like "see you soon," which could allude to Kang the Conqueror, but could it also allude to like he just knows he's going to come back and be in that same spot in the end?
That's
anyway?
what I think too.
So I think it's
Well,
gonna be
have
weird.
you
I
watched
think eventually we're gonna get like multiple Kangs. Like
I think in the Kang Dynasty and the Secret Wars movie, one of the two of those,
'Cause-
we're going to have
and I-
multiple Kangs.
'cause
Because
I
that
think
does happen in the comics, where eventually a handful of him, versions of himself, they all realize, like, oh, if we just team up, we can kill these Avengers.
right.
That does happen, so I would assume it's going to happen in one of the Avengers movies.
But I think I think Kevin Feige's. I think it was Kevin Feige had alluded to like a few months back that Kang will be like kind of like sometimes you're gonna find yourself like rooting for him, but in other times you're like not. So I wonder if that's almost alluded to like Kang
Iron Lad,
Kang the Conqueror. You're not gonna root for,
but Iron Lad you'll root for.
But yeah,
That's
but if like He Who Remains comes back, or like a good
I
version
think
of
it's
Kang
Iron
or
Lad.
something like
It is
that, I
Iron
want.
Lad, right? Yep.
Oh, wait.
Iron Lad, Nathaniel Richards. Yep.
The Reed Richards. What is he? A descendant?
Well, Kang
he a
is Nathaniel Richards,
Right.
but he descendant of Reed Richards. He's from every version of him is from the 30th century.
That's right. From the
but
future.
there's one version that's Iron Lad.
Right.
So with Feige saying that, because I saw that too, I thought like, oh, that means we are going to get like Iron Lad, and then hopefully, yes, He Who Remains or Immortus, whatever comes back. Because yeah, not all versions of himself are evil. Most of them are, but not all of them.
We-
So I don't know, but anyways, it is interesting. Very interesting too of seeing the army of Ant-Man, and then one of the Scots makes himself a giant, and then he gets silly stringed away, just like Reed Richards
Yeah,
in
he gets
Multiverse of
he gets
Madness.
reality stoned
It's-
away.
Yeah, he basically gets reality checked away, and I'm like, oh, so that's I guess how the MCU just wants to do as least violent as possible. I love MODOK's head in this shot because I feel like when you pause it, it looks horrible. So it's got to be an unfinished scene. But
It does look unfinished.
yeah, you just pulled it up and my freaking ADHD kicked in. Immediately was like, okay, that was another thing I wanted to talk about. But no, I just thought that was interesting how there was that similarity. People are alluding that, like, since Kang killed that Scott that way, they're like, oh, I bet he'll want to go team up with Scarlet Witch. Because, like, she's not dead. She's not dead.
See, but I almost
refuse to believe.
I feel like Scarlet
dead.
Witch, especially
they
the
would
way
blow
they've
their
kind of
mind.
set her up. I feel like she might actually end up being kind of like the
hero.
saver. Yeah, like the hero.
That's
in
what
the
I
end.
kind of wonder too. I also kind of wonder too if it's more like, because like fans did that whole thing with the end scene of Loki, the scene in Loki, and the scene where she actually fully becomes Scarlet Witch, where they timed it up right, where he says at the same second, and we've just crossed the threshold. Where he's like, he who remains now, he's like, oh, this is the threshold where now I don't know what's going to happen anymore, is the same moment where she, like, I am devil incarnate Scarlet Witch,
Yeah.
I can do whatever I want, and it's like, because she can alter reality and do whatever she wants is why he doesn't know what's going to happen, because she can at will rewrite shit like he can. So, she might be the savior.
Because I mean, if her and Kang are on the same team, sorry guys, it's
I don't
it's
think-
over.
It's over, dude.
Over,
I don't
right?
care
Like,
if Tony Stark comes back. It don't matter.
You can
I'm
Iron
very-
Man all the way to the ground. It don't matter.
So before the last point of the MODOK, I'm very interested if I kind of hope they do it. I hope in Secret Wars, when the Avengers are trying whatever they can to win against Kang, I really, really hope that they do pull a Thanos out of a different universe to help them.
Oh, that
Because
would be
in the
cool.
comics, Thanos does help them against Kang. Because Thanos doesn't like Kang either.
Of course.
Because Thanos doesn't hate everybody. He just hates half of everybody. So like,
These things were overpopulated.
yeah,
Okay.
he's not a complete asshole. He's just half of an asshole. So I'm very, very excited to hope that Secret Wars is going to throw in, like, you know, we already know we're getting Tobey Maguire. We're probably going to get Andrew Garfield. I just want, like, all these legacy characters to come back for this last movie. Just one last banger.
Do you think
Oh, man,
Ultron will come back?
I
That would be
would
sweet.
love Ultron to come back. Because if
As
you
long as
watch
they-
the What If series, the cartoon,
As long as they
No,
do it right.
well, I've
So,
watched.
If they do it right,
couple.
I'd like it.
so if you
I
watch
started
the
it
if you watch
a
the
week or
What
two
If
ago.
if you watch the What If series, that cartoon, the last 2 episodes tie in some of the other universes of the episodes, and then basically the watcher cherry picks heroes from those episodes, and he creates a Guardians of the Multiverse team. Something else I would like to see in the Secret Wars movie, because if the Kangs are trying to dominate, the Watcher might have to break his oath again and step in, just like he does in the What If cartoon. So in the What If cartoon, basically at the end of it, the main antagonist is Ultron, but he actually got the Vision body. So he's got the Vision body, and then he collects all the Infinity Stones, because what happens in his timeline is Thanos comes out of the space portal, and he splits him in half immediately with the Mind Stone. Like, just lasers it and splits him in half.
This is
takes,
hot.
Takes the remaining stones, takes the other 5 stones from Thanos' gauntlet, like, implants it in his armor, and then he controls...
I'd say I've seen a still
everything.
shot of him with the gems. In
Oh,
it,
it's
but-
cool, and, like, the fight's amazing, and he fights Supreme Sorcerer Strange, which is the one that gets all the darkness powers. Like, he basically traveled back in time so much with the Time Stone that he went way back to the real, like, ancient, like, teaching thing of their Etherean sorcery. I wanted to say Kamertage, but that's not it, because that's the place that I think actually exists, right?
Yes.
right now.
Mhm.
Yes. That's
So,
that's like their home
That's
base.
so that's like the team is like Supreme Strange. The Killmonger is Black Panther because it's from a timeline where Killmonger actually, he killed T'Challa and he manipulated Stark and then also America to invade Wakanda, but then he went to Wakanda and took the throne of the Black Panther mantle and then turned around and used Wakanda to beat America. That's like that timeline. Anyways, and then a different Thor that didn't grow up with a Loki brother. Basically, it was a timeline where Odin gave Loki back to the Frost Giants for the peace treaty instead, and then they just had a peace treaty. So that's a party. They call him Party Thor because he's like just way more immature than the other Thor because he's just never had
only child, baby.
Yeah, because he's an only child and he didn't go through the reality check that the other one really went through. They use the Black Widow as the sole survivor from the timeline where Ultron wins, and then Captain Carter is one, and then the sixth is T'Challa's Star-Lord when he's abducted instead of Peter Quill. So it's interesting. Oh, no, he was the fifth. Sorry. Then the sixth is a Gamora a variant that did end up killing Thanos, and like she has the Thanos armor and the double sword.
Dude, fuck yeah.
When they go to get her, she's at Nidavellir with fucking Tony Stark in this Hulkbuster armor, and they're trying to make the Infinity Gauntlet to use the stones for good or some weird. It's weird. I have to go back and watch it, but they don't do a whole episode on her like they did with the 5 others, so you just get a quick, like, the Watcher, like, interferes, and she, like, sees him, but she has all the Thanos armor and the sword, and she's there with Stark, and they're the only two at Nidavellir with Dimitri, and I don't even remember what they're trying to make, but it's a short series. I mean, it's entertaining. Go watch it, but
I'm adding it to my list.
But do you think Ultron will come back?
well, again,
Because I feel like the reason I asked was
why I
because even
went
though I
in it-
haven't seen it yet is because they did bring him back for What If, even though I hadn't seen
Yeah.
it yet. I thought that was kind of
Well, and you also
intriguing
don't
that they brought
really,
him back.
you really don't know in Age of Ultron if Vision actually killed him. The last.
well,
You
same.
don't really know.
Nobody really dies, except for Tony Stark and Black Widow.
Ultron came back using dark science.
Secrets only the Sith knew.
Yeah. Wait, who the fuck is that? This is the MCU. All right, everybody. Sorry for the very long rants, but I'm getting very, very. The Ant-Man trailer ultimately has made us all very, very excited. Looks like the
Absolutely.
best movie we've had in like a year or two with
Absolutely.
Marvel. Best movie / show, because I think we're all in agreement that most of Phase 4 was a letdown. Kind of sucked. There's some good in there. There's a great in there. Then the rest of it's kind of boring. So I'm very excited for this movie. Stop ranting, but did we talk about MODOK? Like I said, it's probably unfinished.
It probably is unfinished. I mean,
When you pause it, it's like, it's like clearly what is that? Where they're just not like a deep fake. I mean, I guess it would really be like that though,
Yeah.
right?
it really does. It just does look kind of like cheaply done in a way.
It just looks bad.
It looks like they were just like,
remember
yeah,
the
let's
first
just
teaser trailers,
mask this.
It looks like
bang.
the first teaser trailers, they were it was trash. Remember? So I mean, it's like
Well, the first Taylor trailer, you only got a glimpse of it, and he had his mask over his face.
Right. So they're completely okay with releasing.
I just can't wait to hear the explanation of like, how do you become this giant head that doesn't have a body, but it has legs and arms like this?
Well, it makes sense. Actually, if you watch when he gets beat in the first Ant-Man movie, he gets like sucked into himself, and his head's like one of the last things to go away.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah,
That is a
okay,
good point.
yeah.
Good point.
Good,
But
yeah.
I think this looks cool.
That does look cool.
I think it looks good.
I feel like there's no way to really make MODOK, I mean, without the mask helmet thing, look.
Because it's a cheesy
Good.
character. Yeah,
Good.
it's just
Like,
a cheesy looking character.
No matter, even if you made it like comic book accurate, it's still gonna look funky. Like,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
especially in this universe so far. I mean, I know we have aliens and stuff, but it's still gonna stick out.
That's
It's
a
just
best-
something really odd. in
Best
the
of
Yeah.
a best of an awkward situation. I mean,
Yeah.
But
I agree.
I respect them going for it either way. I do hope that we are right. I hope that other shot, it's just hopefully that just the VFX isn't done
Gotta
yet.
be.
yeah, it's got to be.
It's gotta be because it looks kind of bad in that trailer.
It looks like they forgot. Like that's what it looks
Ah,
like.
shit, we put MODOK in this, didn't we?
Oh shit!
Yeah,
Remember that one scene? Yeah, the one you were supposed to finish.
that's
Oh,
interesting
shit.
though. So MODOK is clearly working for Kang then, because they're all together in that one shot.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe he's like a general for Kang or something. Maybe you're right on this forever, Crystal, because if you notice those shots of the Wasp, it's like there's the copies of her behind her.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so maybe they are close to the forever crystal. I want to say from this trailer, I get the vibe that he is going to die, but I just don't think they're going to actually do it.
That was going to be my next question.
I just don't think it's.
I don't think they're going to kill him
I
either.
think that's more of like gotcha shit with Marvel, where they're trying to mislead you to thinking that.
And I feel like
but
they
it's
kind of
not
already
gonna happen.
spoiled that too, because of the shot where he's like coming in and he like stomps his fucking mask out.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I mean, they showed that he's not in it. Like they showed the helmet by itself. Like he probably just shrunk himself and then
Got out.
got out. Like I get that there's a whole line like, I don't have to win. I just have to make sure you lose or whatever he says.
We
Like
just both have to lose.
that could mean a variety of things. I think Kang's gonna win, but I feel like Scott's just gonna get trapped in the quantum realm or something like that.
Good as his prisoner.
Or it gives him enough time to mount. So it just slows him down enough where it gives the other Avengers enough time to figure out what's going on.
Because I mean, Kang Dynasty. Obviously, he's getting out.
Yeah.
But yeah,
He
I
clearly
agree.
wins in that movie.
I
Kang
agree
Dynasty,
that
like,
I just
yeah,
don't think they're gonna like. We don't have much of the old guard left, and you still need some of that old guard there prominently. Like
the old guard that's
There's-
left is Thor. All the other,
and he's even said he's only gonna do one more movie.
he said he doesn't.
Well, one more Thor movie at least.
Yeah, he'll probably do Avengers because he knows that they'll make the character good in that movie, but
Yeah.
they won't make him a giant fucking goofball.
He's like, oh yeah, I'll get my time machine.
I don't know, either that or he's gonna come back and do the same thing, and you'll be pissed off again.
Right.
I hope not, because I think he even said like he only wants to come back if the tone's like drastically different.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he did.
this,
He
I don't
said
think they
that.
have
He
any
did say
choice.
that. He
And-
said that. He
Yeah,
said
in this, I don't think they're not gonna have any choice other than to make it the tone that he's wanting.
But again, the old guard that's left is he is Thor.
The Guardians that are
Really
about to go
hope
away.
that he
Yeah,
hope that he fucking recovers well. Jeremy Renner as Hawkeye. That's some of the old guard that's left, and then the Guardians.
but not for long.
But not for long. Yeah.
Shit,
We'll see
is
what
Jeremy
happens with that.
is Renner supposed to lose his leg or something?
They were thinking he might, but I don't know if they have amputated it yet.
That's tough.
That
I'd
is
say
tough.
I would have think they would have already had to by now if they were going to.
Yeah.
That was my
I'm about
thought.
to say, I don't
too.
think I heard anything about that happening. But yeah, I did hear that
I've
initially
heard
when
they
it
were
happened, there
thinking-
was a scare that they might have to.
Yeah.
So I would think by now he's probably past that point where they'd
I
have to
hope
think
so.
about that. I would hope so. T's and P's out to
Yeah.
the mayor of Kingstown. Have you watched that show? I heard it's pretty good.
I've heard it's pretty good.
As of a couple days ago, they said he is on a long road to recovery, but is thrilled by his progress. But they didn't say anything about an amputation.
That's good.
But you're right, Jay. There's not much of the old guard left. We're gonna have more of the new guard.
I mean,
'cause
Phase 4 was basically all about introducing the
new.
So,
Yeah, we'll see.
but if it seems like Marvel's getting hot again, boys.
It does.
Getting back to maybe that potential Infinity and Endgame peak. Let's go, Civil War. Come on, baby.
That's the goal.
Didn't
the goal.
Didn't they already say that it was going to have similar format for the flow for those movies?
So our last episode, I brought that up. That it's heavily rumored that the plot line of Secret Wars, it will be like Endgame, where they're gonna travel the multiverse like they traveled through time in Endgame, except now they're gonna travel the multiverse. So, i.e., you're going to get Tom Holland jumping over into Garfield and Tobey's universe and saying, like, hey, I need you for something. Like, and it concerns literally all of existence. Shit like that. That's what's going to happen.
So the
Doctor
scale,
Strange
the
is-
scale is
Doctor
be...
Strange is going to take America and be like, hey, pop into another variant of that universe where they had like those 6 badasses that got murdered by Scarlet Witch. There's probably a universe where they're all still alive, right? Yeah, go find that. And
We need all that
let's-
shit.
Yeah,
We need all of that.
yeah. I need every single Captain Marvel from every universe to fight this guy.
Yeah.
That'll give us a chance to win.
Yeah, a chance.
like, you
So-
know, that's
format's the same. The
the-
scale is
the format's the same. The scales, yes, it's just grander because they
Yeah.
want a top end game. You know, those motherfuckers want Evans and Junior. They want all them back just for this one fucking shot for one goddamn big fight in a movie, just so they can be like, yeah, we gave you Captain America, Iron Man, Wolverine, Hulk, Thor, Deadpool, all this Spider-Man, all these
Spider-Man.
all these favorites of
Thanks,
yours,
Spider-Man.
we gave them all in one shot for you. You're welcome.
fucking spoon
And
feed it to me.
I will sit there and be like, thank
Spoon-feed
you.
it.
As long as I get Hugh Jackman one more time with the medals, and he's
The medals?
stabbing people.
Yes, sir. May I have another?
Yeah, exactly. Just-
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna be really let down if he's not in Secret Wars. Granted,
He's gotta be.
he's coming back for Deadpool 3,
He's
so that's
gotta
enough.
be.
But because I feel like the only other caveat of him saying that he would only come back for is if it was for like an MCU movie.
Well, I was gonna say he has said that before, where he's like, the only thing that would get me to play the character again would be in an Avengers movie.
Mm-hmm.
Now he said that 5 to 10 years ago when the shit
I
was
know.
blowing up and X-Men was on the way. Like,
I know
it's
time is
rebooting.
a cruel mistress, Hugh Jackman, but please, we need you for Secret Wars.
That would be fucking sweet.
We need you to talk to all of the Spider-Men. We need those quips.
A lot of people just
Get Ned the ring.
a
back now.
lot of people I've been seeing are just more of, I just need Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man and Hugh Jackman's Wolverine in one fucking movie where they're a team. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Because Tobey suits the most like OG,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
accurate, original comic accurate suit.
Yeah.
Whereas Garfield and Holland's are newer iterations.
Especially Holland's.
Oh,
Well, not Holland's new one though. This is more
that's
traditional.
true. The newest, the
true.
spectacular suit that he wore at the end.
The more
Yeah.
neighborhood Spider-Man
Yeah.
aspect instead of the
Yeah.
jumping out of
Now
spaceship
that they
Spider-Man.
Marvel nerfed Spider-Man, treating him like Genji. Hashtag nerf Genji.
Golly.
I saw that though. Oh god. But yeah, that's 100% what they're gotta be what they're doing. I don't know.
This movie looks hype. What'd you say? We only have like a month?
Yeah,
Yeah, dude,
it's out in a
February.
month.
February, yeah.
It's awesome. February 17th.
That's it. Yep.
Yeah, we'll have to
We'll
get
have-
together and
I
go
was gonna say,
go
we might
see
have
that,
to go see that one all together,
and then
and
just
do it.
record right afterwards.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That was fun the last time we did
That was fun the last time.
But now it's time for Star Wars.
Star Wheezy. Okay.
Star Wizzy.
Star Wars.
so not a ton.
Star Wussy.
Star Wussy.
Apparently, Ussy at the end of everything's the new thing, guys.
Star Wussy?
Star Wussy.
Star Wussy.
I hate.
Oh God, I do. But not too much, nothing crazy. Obviously, we have March 17th, Jedi Survivor. I wanted to touch base on that. They've been breaking down some of the footage that's been released, and a lot of the planets are going to have a lot more NPCs, interactable characters, stuff like that. A lot of
Because that wasn't really in the first game.
none of it.
Like
really.
you went to these planets, but they were like deserted.
Yeah,
Like-
yeah. Like every planet in the
Yeah.
universe has nobody on it except for the Empire. It's like I've seen a couple of still shots where I even saw a still shot where you're holding on to some creature's legs flying through a city. Like I'm like, this looks fucking incredible. So apparently there's quite a few planets that we haven't been introduced to. Like obviously we had Zepho and stuff like that the last time that was destroyed by the Empire, but obviously it fits with the theme where the Jedi has to go to these abandoned places to be able to hide from the Empire and ends up running into the Empire everywhere they go anyway. But But
As is tradition.
but hopefully this will play.
Coincidence.
This will play a little bit more into the canon movie stream series of hide in plain sight. Hide and cover. Do what Obi-Wan did, hide in the middle of the desert, but you're still making appearances in town. You're walking around. You're working. I mean, hide in plain sight, and obviously that makes me even more excited for this game coming up. I'm gonna basically shell myself in after St. Patrick's Day and play that for the entire week.
Really hungover. I'm gonna play video games.
The bull's going on vacation,
Leave me
everybody.
alone.
Damn right, baby. I got that Friday off and I'm ready to go.
Oh my god.
But
I need to finish playing the first one.
Dude,
I
so
got
good.
through. I got through a handle of it, but I need to go back and just mainly just play it, just to play through it, just to beat the story. Like, kind of ignore the side exploration crap as much as possible.
well, that's the only way I play it now. I played straight through because that's all I cared about was the story and shit I hadn't seen yet. So I
And I
finished
think it's like quick, isn't it?
It's pretty fast. I
Yeah.
beat it. I beat it playing after work.
I don't
I
even
think
think
3 nights maybe. And
I was
I
gonna say,
didn't
I don't
play it
even
all
think
night.
it's 20 hours.
No,
Like,
and that's
it's real
if you're
short.
taking your time. Like I ran into a few parts on the maps where it is very confusing and you can get fucking lost easy. on
Dude,
those
I did
maps.
on one, and I traveled so deep into this map, and I got to a point where it's like, yeah, I definitely couldn't like go any further because I definitely would have needed like some ability or some
Yeah.
shit, and I was like, oh, this was a waste of like 30 minutes.
Well,
then.
bro, there was a time where I went in and I couldn't find my way out for like 40 minutes, and I'm online. I'm looking. I'm googling shit. I'm trying.
I
to
am
figure-
fucking lost.
I'm like, I'm like looking at these maps. I'm like, because the map they give you is like a 3D kind of like hologram map.
yeah,
It doesn't really tell you what ways you can go.
right.
So I'm fucking running around for like an hour, and then I go, you know what? I'm gonna take a break and then come back again tomorrow and try to get the fuck out of here.
Right.
Like it was that bad. So, but that's how I played the game. Went straight through, knocked out everything I wanted to see. The Vader scene in the facility.
Oh, you're talking about the hall, like the glass hallway part?
Yes.
Yeah,
With-
the
that
water.
entire sequence is probably one of the best
Yeah.
sequence of gameplays.
And
I've
see,
ever
that's
had.
the thing is I never got like that far at
Dude,
all, so
it's
I need to like
incredible.
actually play the game.
When you're running down the
through.
hallway and there's this front shot that's moving side to side and Vader's behind you and he's throwing shit at you as you run
Yeah.
away and you're having to move and like he's
That's
ripping
the
building
end,
apart.
right?
Close right to it.
Oh,
Right
okay.
up to it and he's throwing pieces of the fucking facility, ripping the walls off and
Mhm.
throwing them at you. And I mean, taking the walkways that you're walking on and lifting them.
He's
up
an
and shit.
angry elf.
Oh, yeah. I mean, when dude, I'm obviously not gonna spoil it for you guys because there are parts to it that are fucking like your eyes get big. You're like, fuck yeah, it's great.
Mhm.
And then now I still play the game, but now I go back and knock out some of the bullshit that I didn't do
Right.
along the
Yeah,
way.
because there's a lot. We've said before how that game has got a lot of exploration to it. It's much like Spider-Man on PlayStation. It's very fast story, but oh god, very fast story
With a lot of Uncharted.
the majority of the game is more meant to
Yeah.
be exploring and doing like side shit, busting out hideouts and stuff. Very fun game as well.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Oh yeah. It's gonna be this new one. I mean, it looks unbelievable. When he's force picking up troopers that have fucking shields and using them to deflect.
Yeah, I saw that in the trailer. I was
My-
like, oh, that's pretty sick.
Dope as fuck.
Yeah.
And so obviously really excited for that. Wanted to touch base on that and keep reminding everybody watching that it is coming. So not that people watching this wouldn't already know that, but here we are. Moving on, new Star Wars project. I won't say new because we've known about it for a while with Levy and Lindelof. We've been talking about it, but it's pretty much been fairy dust. It's been just kind of a hope, that something's coming. Levy came out, gave out a statement that, obviously talking with head honcho of Star Wars. Was it Kennedy? Oh, it was one of them.
Kathleen Kennedy.
Kennedy, yeah, Kathleen. Talking with her about how it's always been his dream to have a Star Wars project, and given the opportunity, he is not going to disappoint, and he's not going to put anything out that would disappoint Star Wars fans. So that's good to hear. But it's not good to hear because he made it very clear that he has to dominate the next production of Deadpool before he can even talk about production for the Star Wars project.
Nah.
So seeing as far as off as Deadpool's probably likely going to be, I mean, we're talking years at this point. So, I mean, obviously.
So by then, Filoni will be running the company by then.
I fucking hope so, dude. I mean, he pretty much does now anyway. I mean, I don't think anybody in that company can tell him shit. It's like,
At least creatively.
yeah. I mean, yeah. What are they gonna say? That's you can't.
I'll
do
say I
that.
don't know how well he is with finances and stuff like that, but he should be top when it comes to creative. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think he's been he'd been given the keys by George, and him and obviously Favreau have been given the keys by George, and I mean the whole company. I mean Kennedy. I mean she does okay. I mean she does her thing. I mean everybody that's involved in the creative process for Star Wars has done well, outside of some directors and. But anyway, there's been some flops.
But to
we,
Kathleen Kennedy's
we ignore some
favor
things.
though, did they make money? Yes, they did.
Always do.
Didn't all of them make a bill? At least 2 of the main trilogy ones made a bill.
Even
if not
the
all
ones,
3.
Even the ones that were fucking hot garbage, hot dog water.
it's
She's one of the
Star
greatest
Wars.
Hollywood
Yeah.
producers of all time, despite her run here in Star Wars. What we think creatively, like we touched on last week, their biggest problem was they just didn't have a plan.
Yeah.
They took a very old school approach to this big ass IP that they paid a lot of money for that they probably got back already. But
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
The theme parks they have and everything, all that
Oh
shit.
my god, dude! I mean, fucking.
Yeah, they got their money back a long time ago. Like,
It's almost like they can't lose money if they tried. That's a good place to be in, but also
yeah.
from a creative standpoint, dangerous.
Yeah.
Because you can do a lot of dumb shit and
the
make
fan
money.
base feels very burned right now after that last trilogy.
Oh yeah, yeah. These new series that they've been releasing have been their attempt at getting back into the fans' good graces. Honestly.
yeah.
But do you guys have anything Star Wars wise before we get into Batch?
I don't think so.
I try to kind of pay attention to DC and Star Wars stuff throughout the week, like as well, but I didn't really see much.
Slightly off base because I kind of forgot to mention this earlier, and it's kind of on the topic of Star Wars because it's Zack Snyder's version of Star Wars, Rebel Moon. Apparently,
Yeah, whatever.
and I forgot to actually check this up, but I did hear that apparently they're going to be giving that a theatrical release.
Oh.
I don't know if it's going to be limited or if it's going to be like a full-fledged one, but it looks like they're at least going to do what they did with Glass Onion, do like at least a limited release. So if that's the case, that's really fucking hype.
That would be fucking sweet.
So all you Snyder fans out there that only care about the Snyderverse returning, put your money where your mouth is and go support Zack in general. That's really who you're a fan of.
Hey, if DC won't give Snyder his own universe, fucking Star Wars might. Maybe.
But yeah, other than that, let's get into this juicy episode of Batch.
And they totally redeemed themselves. For me, this was what I expected, kind of coming in, hit the ground running on a new series, as we talked about last week.
Yeah.
This is what I kind of more or less expected. I mean,
Probably should have been the first episode.
Absolutely. I mean, yes.
But I liked the first 2 episodes still.
I like them. I loved this one.
I can't lie. This is probably one of my favorite Batch episodes in general.
Dude,
yeah. This
just
episode was sick.
Yeah, dude, just the dialogue between characters and the
Mhm.
situations that they're put in. Commander Cody, prime example, but I mean,
Yeah.
Crosshair. I mean,
Oh yeah, spoilers. I mean, you probably know by now. We're definitely getting into spoilers.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
My boy
Yep,
Cody.
spoilers.
I don't know.
So, I mean,
Everybody's
yeah.
boy Cody.
Well, the episode just kind of starts with. Doesn't it immediately start with going to Coruscant, and that's where Crosshair is, and where he's.
Well, it's at that one planet where that new Imperial governor was
Where you-
trying to take over that planet, and then the lady with the helmet on and
That's
shit
right.
ended up
Okay,
surrounding him.
that
So then
is
that's why
right.
they end up going to Crosshair.
Okay,
because
yeah,
Cody-
that's right.
Commander Cody requested Crosshair
Yeah.
specifically.
That's right.
And then
So yeah, that's right. They show Desix, and then
Desix,
the
that's
Empire is trying to expand into it, take it over,
The elected governor is
and
the
he's
one
the
that's-
elect.
She's the elected.
She's the
yeah.
elected governor that just tells them, get the hell out of here. We don't want you here. We're trying to be an independent system.
well,
You need to respect that.
Yeah.
and, yeah.
I don't know if she says it then or when they pan back to her later. When she says like, Well, yeah, she says to him the whole thing of like, I wasn't with your republic before your empire formed, so I'm definitely not going to be with you now. And he says some shit like, well, you guys lost that war, so like it's time to get in line. And she's like, well,
No.
Like,
And then Cody and Crosshair and everyone just fucking walk in and
so
just
Rampart.
I've got the power of droids and anime on my side.
God. So Rampart then, so we find out goes to Coruscant. That's where Crosshair's chilling. They're not having him do anything until Rampart's like, well, I'm going to send you in with some other clones to go take care of this old fucking regime from the last war that just won't give up. That's where Cody comes in.
the moral compass.
The moral compass. Yeah.
Which is hilarious because isn't he the one that had
Okay.
a shoot at Obi-Wan when he was climbing
He
up
shoots.
the...
He shoot Obi-Wan.
Good
So-
soldiers
Blast 'em.
follow orders.
So that right there, loved that, because to me, who's probably over analyzing this, Crosshair and Cody are talking. Cody, I think, alludes to Crosshair like, yeah, it's really weird how like the rest of your force is traitors, but you're not. And Crosshair says then to Cody, he's like, well, the rest of my Clone Force 99 are now traitors to the Empire, just like all the Jedi.
Mhm.
And like Cody immediately just goes, like, has that look and just goes, good soldiers follow orders. And I'm like, I sat there and was like, Crosshair said that on fucking purpose to trigger him, to get him to go away. Like, because he knew about, like, the chip thing. He knows. So he's like, to me, that's how I took that scene. And I was like, that was just fucking cool. Because I think Crosshair just manipulated the shit out of him.
Yeah.
And, because Cody immediately just says that. And he just completely forgets what he was trying to talk to him about.
Yeah.
Just walks away. And I was like, yeah, I feel like Crosshair, that was just get out of this card.
Oh, I mean, like...
I don't know how... Again,
it did
I
get
might
that
be
feeling.
over-analyzing this fully as a big diehard fan.
Oh, no.
And the video is dead.
Pause.
Alrighty.
That was unfortunate, but we're back.
Sorry, boys. Or lads and
Well,
ladettes.
yeah. Apologies for me.
Battery died. But don't worry, the memory card's good.
Yes.
All right. So where were we in the batch? Where did we leave off?
I think we're still talking about Cody and Crosshair and...
Oh, yeah,
I
that
left off with,
conversation,
I
yeah.
just thought it was... again, probably
I
over-analyzing.
will say I agree. I definitely felt like Crosshair was trying to
Manipulate him.
maybe not as far as manipulate, but I can definitely see that. But he definitely was trying to get a dig in or a stab in. Like he knew he was definitely going to hurt him with that comment.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, given how it ends, and we'll get there, but the way that he feels about it, how Commander Cody kind of gives him that back to where it's, do you ever feel like we're making a difference? You know, and I think that manipulation may have played into the way that Cody made the decision to do what he did towards the end of the episode, and then eventually jumping forward, go AWOL.
Did you guys notice that the new TK troopers have like the original design for the Stormtrooper helmets? I thought that was cool. And plus, it's kind of nice too, because now it also gives us a way, like at least when the helmets are on, you can still differentiate the clones from the human troopers or the civs.
Which is actually interesting, because when you see, like, they still allow the clones, most of them, to wear their own original armor with their markings and everything, like when they're in battle. And I don't know if that's just a select few that they haven't enlisted into active duty and they just use for certain projects. But they still, when they were running through that, when Crosshair shot down the barrel of that fucking tank, which was dope, dope as hell. But you see them with clones, and they're wearing their clone armor, and that was cool too.
Yeah, it was like Cody's squad is how I took it.
Yeah,
it was pretty cool. Yes, the bridge scene is hot. Crosshair's like, I'll distract him. You guys just go get in position.
So this whole thing is also interesting because of the future of just like the clones, because this got even alluded to in Andor when you saw the or is it Kenobi? One of the shows where you see like the old trooper That's like on like just
That was in Kenobi.
Kenobi.
Yeah.
It's one of the 501st from
The Timur
Anakin's.
Morrison's just sitting there
Yeah.
trying to get
It was
food.
one of Anakin's regimes, like the 501st, because he had the blue. Yeah.
So we're like getting definitely to the point where because you go. There's so many TK troopers now that it seems like all the clones are kind of just stuck at that base, just eating in the cafeteria all the time.
Yeah, they're definitely.
So they're getting
like
phased out, which is now
They are.
going to make sense why Commander Cody's having the problems that he's having, because their whole purpose of being bred was to fight in wars, and they're obviously a brotherhood, and now they like don't have that cause anymore. So like, what does it mean to be a clone now? Like, what are they like?
Right.
And that's where Commander Cody. I think there's even a line later, something about acting like a droid or something like.
Yeah, I remember that comment. Yeah.
Yes. Because they're just mindlessly following orders. They're not really questioning, is what they're doing really right for the universe or the galaxy, and like, are they really being now any different than, with what they thought they were fighting, I guess, against the Separatists? I don't know.
Yeah, because that's what he told that droid comment. He said, we can make our own decisions.
Yeah.
We can make we can make choices. That's what makes us different.
Yes, when they come back from the fighting, he says, like, we can make our own decisions. Real quick, the fighting. There is a Clone Wars reference. Droidekas come.
Yeah.
The shield's up.
I love seeing
and
all
he
the
just
droids again.
he says, throw this at it, which I can't remember what it's called, but it's the same device from Clone Wars. And I love the subtle, like, you're only a diehard fan, like, probably, Jordan, you, I don't think are going to know the reference, but, like, when you're like Jeff and I, you knew. Like, you saw that ball bounce, and then it bounced off the shield, you immediately were like, the Ahsoka training, you didn't get it. You didn't get it. You're supposed to do it slowly.
Because kinetic energy is what makes.
Yes, it's kinetic energy with those shields. So when he threw it and he did it too hard and it bounced off the shield, it was again, it's the Leo scene from Once Upon a Time, just. Like that. That's what I was doing. I was like, oh, he didn't do it light enough.
I did too. I think I said it out loud. And Jamie was there, and she's like, "What?"
Yeah, but what the fuck are you talking about? Just go away. Let me enjoy this. Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. So, and because then again, it's like then a couple sequences later, it's Cody or Crosshair that then they do it real light and blows the fucker up.
Yeah, which is so fucking cool. Yeah. Such a great callback, and it's like, and that's the beauty of these. Dude, you just have to know to really appreciate it.
And dude, so
awesome.
There's the tank shot. Then he ups that more. Now he's throwing mirrors to walls.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
Sharpshooting a mirror shot, and dude, it's so outrageous. The end shot, like,
dude, like when he's in that tower and he's
ricochets a laser off like 5 different droids.
Yeah, he says what he say? He's like, I can hit him. I can hit the target from here, and he's like laying down in a staircase. I'm like, what? Then I watched.
Where do you want me to throw it? Just throw it up as high as you can, and just flex, and he just.
I kind of like the little detail and choice of them going up that spiral staircase to, like an old school fairy tale to save the princess or the prince in this case that they need to say.
Dude, they fucking do, man. Dude, they touch on so many things. I mean, what they say. It's space fantasy, not science, not science fiction. It's space fantasy because there's magic.
Space fantasy opera.
High fantasy in space. Yeah.
Space opera with magic.
So, anyways, the elected governor, that is Mina Bonteri, right?
I'm not gonna know.
Did they say it?
I don't think they say her name, but I'm pretty sure it is the same character from Clone Wars because basically. To call back to Clone Wars, there's an episode where Ahsoka travels with Padme, right? Because Padme's related to that character, right? Or they're friends? They're old friends?
I think so. I think that they were.
Because that
kids, they were. Yeah.
That character, this elected governor of Desix, she was in the Republic, but she's one of the systems that left to join the Separatists when Dooku was rallying systems. That's where the connection with Padme is. That's why Padme and Ahsoka go there, and then
because that one was when Dooku was having that big conference, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then they realize how the Separatists are literally just like the Republic, like they have a democratic council. And
They're
like,
not so
these-
different.
Yeah, they're actually not different. They just want different freedoms.
Yeah.
So this character, this elected governor character, is from that episode where you find out about what the separatists really are in the background. So that was kind of cool to get her again. Call back again to the Clone Wars there. Do they kill her?
Yeah,
They do kill.
well,
Crosshair
the
shoots.
boy.
That's right. Yeah,
and
yeah.
that I think was the moment for Commander Cody right
Oh,
there.
yeah,
When he
'cause-
completely negotiated the situation, clean, no violence. We can be peaceful, resolve this peacefully. And then I can't remember what he.
Let's not start
and then
another
as
war.
soon as
Soon
Dick
as-
Boy is fucking free again, he's like, shoot her!
Yeah.
Execute her. He looks at her. He's like, I promised her I would.
And I knew it. I knew the whole time when they were just focusing on Cody and the dude and wouldn't show Crosshair. I was like,
Well,
yeah,
yeah.
I'm waiting for that
You
shot
knew-
any
you,
minute.
You knew it was gonna happen.
Bang!
Good soldiers follow orders.
Yeah.
Always.
Always. And then so then that gets back to when they get back, and that's where Cody's like, you know what makes us different from droids is that like we have free will and we can think on our own.
Mhm.
Yeah, and,
Yeah.
and him going AWOL. I mean, obviously, I think that was part of manipulation you were talking about earlier. In my opinion, I think Crosshair is trying to help the clones around him. In my opinion,
He could be.
I think he is, because pushing the envelope like he did in that situation, especially like good soldiers follow orders. He was covering for him by doing what Cody was ordered to do.
Oh
He-
yeah.
he
I could,
took-
okay,
he took
I
the
could see
hit.
that.
He did it. Yeah.
He took the hit so that he, obviously protecting him. And then that conversation they had where, basically the conversation was, how do you feel? How do you feel about this? You feel like this is all right? Good soldiers follow order. I mean, that just reaffirms. But then at the end, you see Crosshair contemplating all these things and seeing how it's really going. And do I really want to be a part of this? Because I do have a choice, because he knows about what's going on in his head, but or was. And I think he is. I think he's going to be more of a silent help.
I am like so torn on what I want them to do with Crosshair. Part of me just wants him to be just a fucking badass villain, but a part of me really wants him to have just like an awesome redemption arc.
Oh,
I
dude,
think
that's where we're going.
I feel like
And I'm
that's
getting
what
the
they're
feeling.
doing.
I've been kind of getting that feeling too, so I'm on board. This episode was so. I think it's a solid 9er for me.
Mhm.
Dude,
9er.
I was
Snyder.
saying I was gonna say 8.5 to 9 because obviously I want to leave a little bit room for it to get hotter. But
Mhm.
I think there's
This one was awesome. I love this one. It
Yeah,
just had
this
it had the action, had characters that I'm like, oh yeah, what the hell?
And I think this is
Great
how
development of all
how
of
the
them.
Batch are going to come back in it too.
yeah.
I think they're going to come in to save Cody or team up with Cody or whatever. But
They
Maybe.
don't leave anybody behind. And if they can complete this, obviously I think that, in my opinion, I don't know how long they're planning to go with this series, but if this were to be the last stint with the Bad Batch as far as their series go, for that to be the redemption and them to kind of go off into the distance or kind of meet up together and have one last mission.
Are we gonna have a hot Hunter, Cody, and Rex moment?
Oh, 100%.
Are they gonna
dude.
give us that?
You bet your ass they are. If Filoni has anything to say about it, you bet your ass he will. Any of those doubts of what ifs that I think but what if this happened? It's probably going to.
It's probably going to.
I mean, after the Boba Fett series, anything's possible.
That's true.
anything is possible.
But I think that is it for Star Wars, unless anybody's got anything else. If you have anything Star Wars related that you want us to discuss or talk about, post it below. We will try to touch on it
True.
next week.
The same goes for Marvel as well. If you think there's stuff that we're missing, tell us.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it. We love to theorize. I love to theorize.
I like to talk shit, so here we are.
I like to talk. Yeah.
I like to talk shit, make up fucking rumors and talk about them. I like that shit.
I love bragging about a fucking 58-point blowout. Sorry.
Jesus.
I still am just like, why was that a game?
58.
Why was this?
58. Because Michigan stomped on their own foot.
All right.
Alrighty. Yeah, that'll do it for this week. Please like, comment, and subscribe. We are also on Podbean.
It's Podbean.
I think I've been lying this whole time saying
You have
podcast
been.
services around the world. I'm still
It's
going to say it. Podbean services all around the world.
Spotify, hopefully soon.
Podbean all around the world.
Hopefully Spotify soon. Or, probably that's where a majority of you, if you're going to listen to the audio, that's where it's going to be.
Yep. Either that or Apple. But
Apple wants tax shit. They can wait.
Yeah.
And yes, I said that on a camera.
You can wait. You can wait.
We don't make any money yet, so don't care.
Alrighty, until next time, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm your boy, J Sib.
I'm KP.
And it's the bull. Go dogs.
Go dogs.
See ya later.
Bark at children.
Yeah.